I'm going to start this conversation by saying hi. Anyway, there's a lot to talk about today. Today, I'm talking about my past experiences with India, which were 2 trips. Not now, if you haven't seen my other video, you'll see that my other video talks about my trip that I'm about to go to. These are my past other trips. I'll also be dabbling into what kind of stuff arises from my past in those trips. So my last video was talking about how I'm going, what I believe will be coming up next that I will accept and change in my life. And the final segment will be on relationships and sexual curricular activities. Okay, here we go. So the first trip was last year, this is to India. Last year, 2018, April, or it might have been March. I know it ended in April 8th. It might have been April 1st to April 8th. It was only 8 days I was there. It was nothing. I mean, it was something. You know, it was my first time actually going over there. I went to Mumbai, Kolaba, the southern part of Mumbai. You know, I didn't want to rush anything. I went, I saw the Victoria's palace or whatever. I just went by it. I didn't even want to go in it. I wanted to enjoy every little bit. So I did that. I went to the Taj Mahal Hotel, where there was a terrorist attack. They have heavy security. Boy, is it beautiful in there. And I would go in there and I would eat in beautiful food at this section. I forgot what it was called. La Pasiva or something like that. It was this, I don't know what it was called, but it was this pastry shop. Amazing pastries, unbelievable. Oh. And, you know, in the beginning it can get kind of lonely over there. You're alone. You don't know where the heck you're going. I don't know the language. When I arrived over there, I remember the first thing that they said to me at the hotel is they said, "Oh, you canceled your hotel." I said, "I never canceled." What? It's 11 to 12 o'clock at night. I'm coming from the other side of the planet. You think I'm canceling so that I can go sleep with, like, I don't know what, outside? Are you, how do I put this lightly? Psycho? Like, you know what I mean? Hello? I'm not canceling anything. You must be out of your mind. Anyway, it was nice. I met some casual friends there. Casual. They weren't really friends. They were like associates, you know. But I did meet some friends as well. And then they took me, one guy took me to the gateway of India. It was pretty, I lived very close to all of us. So I didn't really go too far over anything. I didn't go to the Elephanta Islands as I originally wanted to. But whatever. You know what I mean? Who cares? Sometimes you gotta roll with the punches and see where life takes you. Okay, next trip to India and Nepal. So first I landed in Nepal. This whole trip was about 20 days. This time in Nepal I was only there 5 days, and in Mumbai I was there, I think it was 2 weeks. Yes, that's right. So this time I brought my tits. That's right. And I was scared because I said, I don't know if they're gonna let me put them on the plane. Like, are you gonna let me put them on? Like, you know, because they're made out of gel. And I said, are you good? So I called up a bunch of it, and what's funny? A lot of these airports, they don't give a flying rat's ass. It's only Canada and the States that are a little extra. From my experience, listen, I've traveled a bit. Not a lot, but a bit. Okay, for a few years. And by a few years, I mean like, let's say 7 or 8. Recently, a lot. But even when I was a kid, I traveled. So I've been kind of always traveling. So it's not a bit, it's a lot. What else? Anyway, going further. In Nepal, when I landed, I met a friend. I had only 5 days. Actually, the first friend of mine was the first person I laid eyes on, which was my driver. Well, my whatever, because they had 2 people in the car, and that other guy who's bringing me there, he was not driving, became my friend, but he's part of the driving service. I don't know, something like this. So, I think he wants to sleep with me. Anyway, I met another guy, and we did sleep together. But before that, we went out everywhere. We went to the Buddha temple. We went to the monkey temple. He let me drive his little moped. I was driving on the left side of the road. It was so fun. We went to Posopati. And boy, do I have a story about that place. That place is the ceremony of the dead. Where the dead pass on and the people let go and some dance and whatnot. There's a story about that. I might have to do it on another video. Anyway, what else is there? Yeah, I mentioned all that. Wait, no, I'm gonna do another video on that because it's a wild video. Anyway, I believe that I brought the dead back to life, in a nutshell, okay? And I've had, okay, I didn't do it, but I was probably channeling a message that one of the dead bodies was going to be realized to be alive. Whole story behind that, okay? Oh my gosh, I don't know, I'm so compelled to tell you now. I'm going to tell you now, okay? So, but before I tell you this, I have to tell you something else about me. I was reading a book to this individual. Long story short, it was a guru book, something to do with Punjab, India, okay? In the book, 3 pages in, it kept talking about the tree of life in Christianity. I kept reading it out loud. Eventually, 12 o'clock at night in downtown Toronto, somebody walks in with a live baby tree. And this is the kind of weird stuff that happens to me. Going back to Nepal, the Posopati place, I looked at my friend and I said, doesn't that one guy look like he's stood up from the dead? And my friend says to me, no, Stacy, if that happens, we're all running out of here. But he was dressed up in white robes, kind of like the dead are wrapped up in white. 2 seconds later, okay, or minutes, whatever, 2 minutes later, max, one of the dead bodies that is wrapped up in white gets sent over to the hospital section of the temple. And my friend says, oh, that's weird. There's like this excitement. And I said, what's going on? He says to me, that body's alive. I said, how the hell do you know? You're up here. He says, I've been here for 29 years of my whole life. I come here twice a week. I know what that hospital section is for. And never have I seen a body go in there. He says, in our custom, we don't keep the dead inside. That's how I know that that body's alive. I said, that's the same as our custom. My family background, which is sort of related as Gypsy Indians too. I said, I think we did this. Or at the very least, the message was sent through our subconscious mind. Because this is the kind of weird stuff that happens. Anyway, that's pretty much the story, so I don't have to do a segment later on it. Okay. I then went to Mumbai. I know I'm saying everything fast. I went later to Mumbai for 2 weeks. I thought I was going to lose my mind. I went out, I went here and there, but I was isolated a lot of the times too. And people really liked me. Like, either that or they were so curious of me because I just, look, I'm very, my body language, my everything, my energy. I don't know, I know it sounds a little egotistical or whatever. I don't care, okay? I send out a very exciting energy, and I think people notice it. But these people in particular I don't know, they're just more open in some strange, indirect, conservative way. It's like there's a conservative mask. I hate to generalize everybody, and I'm not really going to. I'm kind of doing it like this much, and I'm sticking to only this much without making it into, like, everybody. My experience, to bring it down to this much, is that a lot of the people that actually, I shouldn't say that, it's not true. Because a lot of people were just walking by me. But I mean, there were certain people, there we go, I just corrected myself, that would see me and they were so curious of me. And I don't know, like, it just, like, I love attention, but I'm already lonely, insecure about where I'm going. So now they're, like, I think there was a little bit of slight judgment in their looks, but also slight excitement, slight a lot of things. But I'm like, I don't know anything. So I'm already insecure. Long story short, I made it work for myself because, listen, you gotta keep going. What's gonna happen? You're not gonna just go, okay? Like, so I kept going. But what my point is that in moments where I would be in my room, I would relax, and a lot of stuff would come up and out of me. By the way, this is another segment. And it would force you to accept these things. I mentioned this in my other video too, but I'm going to briefly talk about it. And then you would have to reflect, move on. The things I would have to move on from are like abuse, from what occurred to me and my family, etc., without getting into it. And other things like this, that I've been going to therapy now for over a year. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So it was kind of nice because once it arises, you see it, you accept it. It's not easy. And then you kind of go through it, and hopefully you go through it gracefully, which doesn't always happen. Because sometimes you just get a little nuts. So I felt, my whole point is, for this segment, is I felt like I came back the same person originally, but upgraded, if you will, for lack of a better term. Or should I really say, I came back uncovering the true self. Now this is getting a little too, anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. Siri started talking out of nowhere. I'm losing my... Okay. Anyway, it's kind of weird stuff happens. Anyway, so that's pretty much that. Anyway, final segment. I can't believe this video is going to be this long. Oh yeah, while I was there, this is the segment. There was a lot of sex. And You know, I've been around. Okay? I mean, I've been around. Okay? Like, I flew over the North Pole to get to India the second time for sure. I know that much. And because it shows on the thing, like it's going up. I said, where the heck is this plane going? It shows on the picture. I went, you're going over the North Pole? Like, I don't know. This is gonna make me sound really stupid, even though I'm not. But you're gonna probably think I am. But I don't give a shit because I'm not. When the plane was going over the North Pole, I'm thinking to myself, isn't it too cold to go up over there with a plane? Don't you need like a jet? I know that's really silly. And I know that climate doesn't work like that. But for a brief second, you kind of think like that. I don't know if it does or doesn't work like that entirely. Anyway, back to the segment. Sex and relationships. I met some really beautiful men. But some of them are so concerned about what everybody else will think. But not as much, I think, as here in Toronto. They were just... Or maybe, I don't know. You know what? This will be on the next channel. I don't want this video to be too long. It's probably better that whatever reason you're fascinated on watching this, what I'm saying here, that I don't bombard you with too many things. But I'll leave you with this. Do you like my shirt? Do you like my hair? I think this is how I end my videos for now. Do you like my vibe? I don't know. Bye.